Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Shows Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course, and I want to talk about the clip that has been released on Instagram that has stirred the debate, the topic of discussion of whether or not the court order was somehow broken for filming of the show. And I just want to talk about a couple of different dynamics that come to my mind. In my opinion, it's not even more so about what Melody does. The entire point of the court order is to regulate Martell's behavior. So, regardless of where she is or what she's doing, he is to not have interaction with her. And so she should not be limited, in my opinion, to what she does. It's him who has to check himself. So before we get into it all, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video and please subscribe to the channel. Everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on this clip is allowed. Now, I have stopped, as you know, it's been quite a few months since I've just straight played the clips from Instagram because OWN does not like that. They have notified me. So I repurpose it with taking the visuals and creating a collage for you all and then playing the audio. So I'm going to go ahead and cue that up. I also want to talk about just the physicality of the setting at the vow renewal and what that means for me, because I'm just convinced that I wouldn't say that it's been broken, the court order, and that it is like this huge, they're just filming together. I don't think that's filming together. For me, filming together is sitting at the same table, looking each other in the eyes and actually having conversation. This is reality TV. It's not like they're filming a movie and the two of them are extras and they're filming like a party scene. Then I would maybe say perhaps they were filming together. But this is reality TV, which requires a conversation. And so I just would not say that Melody and Martell have filmed together. They were in the same proximity. And for me, that was just all it was. So I'm going to go ahead and play the audio from this clip. And then I just want to analyze just where they physically were in regards to each other. And then we will go from there. Okay, so let's see here. Please hit the like button, and I thank you all so much. And here we go.
And we ain't have all them kids, it wouldn't be tough for me, you know what I'm saying? But it just seemed like we cheating them out of a lot. Just by not having that alliance being right there together, I think about that often. It'll make you a little emotional when you see them come down the aisle and all the love that you see 30 years in. You're right, man. Yeah, it's tough. You're right. Yeah. Damn. Mel and I not having any interaction, not even speaking, that always bothers me. When we got married, I never would have thought that we would be in this space at a place like this, vows being renewed. If anything, I would have thought that would have been us. It's tough. And we ain't have all them kids, it wouldn't be tough for me, you know what I'm saying? But it just seemed like we cheating them out of a lot. Just by not having that alliance being right there together, I think about that often. It'll make you a little emotional when you see them come down the aisle and all the love that you see 30 years in. You're right, man. Yeah, it's tough. You're right. Yeah. Damn. Mel and I not having any interaction, not even speaking, that always bothers me. When we got married, I never would have thought that we would be in this space at a place like this, vows being renewed. If anything, I would have thought that would have been us.
Okay, so I played the clip a couple of times for you all, and I'm sure that you have seen it, whether it's on your social media or one of the other amazing content creators. But as you can see, it looks like, Melody sat on the opposite side of the seating where a lot of the cast was. She was opposite of the Scotts 1.0 and 2.0 and her ex-husband Martell. And Martell, he didn't play any games. He sat opposite side of her. He was conversing with Maurice. I find it interesting that two grown men, both past the age of 40, they're gonna sit up there and talk about Melody in their scene, but whatever. But physically, in my opinion, she's not anywhere near him where he could try anything. Also, there's a ton of guests there, so he's not so crazy to where he would try anything. And I'm sure Melody had her security there as well. So all of these factors, I'm sure helped Melody feel comfortable to show her support to the Fletchers and attend the vow renewal. I think that this also speaks to Melody's love that she had or still currently has for Chris and Nell Fletcher, that she, planned and thought about going to the vow renewal, knowing that it was an all cast event, knowing that Martell would be there. She knew she could bring security. She knew there would be several people there, production and the guest. And I'm sure once she laid out all the pros and cons, Melody felt comfortable attending the vow renewal. And I'm comfortable with her being there as well for the reasons that I have stated. A ton of people at the event. It was a wedding, and I'm sure Melody had her security, and she did not physically sit near him. And he wasn't going to try anything anyway. I guess he's not totally crazy. Now with court orders, the protection orders, the PPOs, that's to regulate the behavior of the person who's the aggressor, allegedly. And so if you've ever had to get a PPO out on someone, that's for them to watch it. And I don't really feel like the court order has been broken in this case because they filmed this scene, because this happens. And unfortunately, the person who's being disrespected or violated, sometimes they do have to interact with that person who has violated their boundaries. This happens all the time. Workplace harassment, if you do have the courage to speak up and HR talks to you both, and let's say HR, like the court with Martell, let's say HR does decide, okay, this person was out of line. They move him or her to another department or another physical desk. They know not to bother you anymore, but they didn't fire them. They didn't fire that person. Then you're still working under the same roof as this person. Sometimes you may go to the cafeteria at lunchtime and they are there. And I'm totally speaking, yes, I'm speaking from personal experience. So this person, he was moved to another sales team. He did not physically work near me anymore, but did our paths sometimes cross a little? Yes, but it still was no where he would try to physically touch me again. Absolutely not. But this does happen, unfortunately, all the time. But Melody is very fortunate that she does not have to, her path doesn't really cross with his like that, where it could be uncomfortable. I know that she exchanges the kids with him every other week, but then again, that's done at the school. There's going to be other people there, and Jason may attend the exchange with her then as well. So I'm sure she has created that comfort zone for herself. But I definitely don't look at it as the court order has been broken or she's let down her guard or has decided that she'll go ahead and film with him. I think that she laid out the pros and cons and felt comfortable enough, and her love for the Fletchers helped her to create that comfort zone at their wedding renewal so that she could be there. And I'm just thankful that she was able to be there and be safe. So that is something great. And you know what? And this is nothing to even really, it doesn't bring me joy to even say this, but back to the point of where sometimes your path does cross with your aggressor. There are people who have been victimized by family members. And guess what? The family as a whole still F's with the person that violated people, and they know about it and they still F with them. So that person that's the victim, they interact with them at Thanksgiving dinner, cookouts in the summertime. So and they don't have security. Nobody is really going all out to protect them. So this definitely happens, but the court order, and that's why the court order is there. That's why the judge is presiding over cases, and the judge decides, yeah, he is out of control, he is off the hook. So let me put these parameters in place so that this ninja knows not to try it again. And so that this ninja knows, there is someone who cares for her. He cannot just violate her. There's going to be consequences for his actions. So, Melody can film whatever scene she wants to. The court order is to make sure that that Negro does not try anything. And that was, something that I wanted to share. And this weekend, we will have the season finale for Love and Marriage Huntsville. I've said in a previous video, it feels like such a long season. And, when it's a very turbulent season of not just Love and Marriage Huntsville, but any reality TV show, that season will feel very exhausting and very long. And I feel like between the attack on the millimeters and, just unfortunately having to learn that Moses is back in jail, and the passing of Kiki Jabbar, may she rest in peace, just all of those things that we've gone through as viewers and as the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville, it just seems very, very long and exhausting. So I will be thankful to reach the finale and the reunion. I think that it will be very good for all of us. And I was having this thought the other night, so I'm going to switch subjects from this scene of the finale. But I was thinking about, aside from the fake storylines and the favoritism, in my opinion, between the cast members, some of the cast members in production, I do feel like the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville, they have been through a lot. They've been through a lot. Now on other reality TV shows, would you hear about lawsuits or tax liens? Sure, plenty of reality TV stars. So the lawsuit, some would argue that's not really traumatic or really tough to go through. But I imagine for anyone dealing with a lawsuit, that can be stressful. It's obviously an additional bill, expensive. And then, who wants to be tied up in the courts, and be subject to whatever fine or consequence should you be found guilty. But some of the cast members have had lawsuits. There's been lots of arrests. And I'm with Melody. That is hella embarrassing. I'm not even on the show, but I don't like to see a bunch of Black people getting arrested over and over. And so, yeah, that was embarrassing as well, because I want us all to do well as a community, as a race. And I don't want anybody getting profiled and taken out this world, and you're unarmed and wasn't doing anything, just driving while Black. I don't want to see any of that. So, lots of arrests, lots of lawsuits, and they've lost a cast member, and court orders because someone wants to threaten the mother of his children with revenge P. It's just a lot of serious, dark things that have happened. And so it's really heavy. And I know that some people say this show needs to end because it's so toxic. We all know that for some of them, it appears as though this is their main or only income. So they definitely don't want to see the show leave, because they literally need it to pay their monthly bills, keep a roof over their head, and continue feeding their children in my opinion, Martell, this is his main only source of income, in my opinion, Martell. So I don't know how they can get back to more light. I guess they would have to be the light. You would have to, not send any images to your ex-spouse in a text message when you're angry. And you would have to stop the gang up and being comfortable with bullying. It's one thing, the bully is already a piece of shit, right? They're already deeply insecure. I'm convinced that child bullies, they're going home after school and they're getting bullied. That's where they learned it from. But the bully is already, whatever. But when you're comfortable with the fuck shit, when you're comfortable with the bullying, that is some hoe shit. That is bitch ass. And that is what I have a problem with. The bullying and being comfortable with it, being down with it. That is some hoe shit as well. So, this show has been renewed. OWN has renewed it. I'm convinced someone left a comment on one of my videos, and she said, I believe that when they do not let the cast watch all of the remaining episodes for the reunion, it gives them a storyline. Shout out to One Doubler One. He or she left that comment on my video about who snitched on Moses and the Scots making their lazy production comment. They said, I think them not viewing all of the episodes prior to the reunion gives them a storyline for the next season. And I think that that is definitely something to think about. I think that's a very fair point. I think that that's a great point. But if they do that, though, production, they are like manipulating the reality. Then it's not authentic. That is like manipulating it. That was something that Abby Lee Miller used to fuss about in interviews about the Lifetime producers. She said she would yell at them. She would admit, Abby Lee Miller will admit to yelling. She said she would yell at them and say, you all don't need to manufacture any drama. My dance moms, they have enough drama and they will get it started themselves. They don't need your help. And I think that's true. If you've casted these people, you should have confidence in them that they're going to give you great material. Season 1 of Love and Marriage Huntsville was the most authentic because we were being introduced to the cast and we were learning, the shady things that they would say, in their confessionals about the Holts and all of the gossiping that they knew. And really, they would just ask Melody how she was doing to get tea versus sincerely trying to check up on her. Like, girl, the streets are saying some crazy things, and I don't want to hear about Martell disrespecting my girl. Is there any truth to that? It was never like that. It was like, so, how are you? How are things? Knowing what they had heard in the streets. But my point is that that was the authentic, that was the real. So the producers don't have to manufacture the drama. That's adding to the negative energy as well. But we're reaching the end of the show. I think that that is like my reflection on the season because it's been so long and exhausting. And so, yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. Please hit the like button on this video as it is a free way of supporting the channel. I thank you all so much for your support. I hope that you had a wonderful Wednesday. It is time for us to have a thriving Thursday. It's going to be great. I know that we all don't always talk about every single thing that's happening in our lives, but if any of you are having a challenge right now, I know that you're going to get through it and you'll be looking back on it when you're in the thick of it. Sometimes you have moments of hopelessness where you think the problem isn't going to go away or you're wondering how you're going to get through it, but you always do somehow, right? And you end up looking back on it. So you just hang in there, you hang on and keep on hanging, and you just try your best. And if you make a mistake, remember that you are human and it is okay. And I will talk with you all soon. Bye.